B. Laker, the Dark Master, also known as the first Prince of Chaos and the one who heralds the conquerors, is a daemon prince of chaos undivided. He beholds each of the chaos gods equally. Like a petulant firstborn son, he is jealous of anyone that wins the favor of chaos, and thus seeks to undermine them. B. Laker was the first mortal elevated to daemonhood by chaos. However, much of his origins are hidden behind legend and rumor, tales torn from the tongues of captive demons or as forbidden lore recorded in ancient crypts. Legends tell of B. Laker ruling over mortal empires since the dawn of time, the daemon prince conquering a world and subjugating its people, forcing them to worship him as a god. When the race would fall into decline, ruined by B. Laker's greed and malevolence, the daemon would move on, finding a new burgeoning race to be his playthings. Several times, the daemon prince is said to have been the lord of sector spanning empires, a dark demonic god ruling over 1,000 worlds and billions of loyal followers. Even the Grey Knights know very little of his history, what little information remaining suggesting that he has been ruling over mortal empires since the dawn of time, only to abandon them when they would fall into decline. Even this is just supposition, however, as these exist as impossible lies and conflicting fabrications, whilst it is unclear how B. Laker managed to draw the gaze of the chaos gods. He became the first mortal to be blessed by all four ruinous powers and became the first daemon prince. This would soon prove to be a mistake, however, as the chaos gods do not share for long, and soon they began to squabble for control over this winged daemon prince. But B. Laker could and would not be tamed. Soon, the chaos gods gave up on trying to control the uncontrollable daemon prince, opting instead to invest their will in other mortals in the known universe. Although B. Laker remained the strongest of the daemon princes, his power was greatly diminished as the ruinous powers began to put forth their own energies into other daemon prince. Since then, B. Laker has held a bitter jealousy towards anyone who wins the favor of the dark gods. As such, he is known to undermine the plans of the servants of chaos, a master of shadows exerting his will and subverting the intentions of the dark gods. However, what he believes to be his free will is just a part of the rivalry between the chaos gods themselves. One soul who succeeded in escaping B. Laker's grasp is Ahriman, who bound the daemon prince after tricking him into thinking he had lured Ahriman into a trap. In exchange for being released from Ahriman's control, B. Laker reluctantly agreed to relinquish his claims on the soul of the sorcerer Tejas. The relics of B. Laker, relics, and the ruins of dead worlds still exist that suggest there may be some truth to these legends. Whether their source was B. Laker or not is more difficult to say. The Adeptus Mechanicus Techmagos Kyber spent his life piecing together the history of B. Laker in his exploration of the galactic wilderness, hunting down ancient relics of the dark age of technology. Following the faint trail left by B. Laker's passage through history, Magos Kyber found winged statues carved from the fossilized bones of psychers and crumbling scrolls of human skin that show thousands of tiny figures bowing down before a dark winged shape and Stygian horn fragments sealed in sacred caskets. Unaware of B. Laker's true nature, Kyber became convinced that all these objects are linked to one Xenos overlord, an ancient creature that had existed for millions of years in various guises and was behind countless vile deeds. Unknown to Kyber, he was manipulated by B. Laker. The daemon prince placed the first clues to his existence in Kyber's path, leading the Magos to the ruins of a world he once ruled. From this seat of curiosity, Kyber has discovered new systems, planets, and ruined empires long forgotten by B. Laker. While the daemon was helping Kyber from the shadows, the Magos had gathered up the hidden and forgotten legacy B. Laker has left behind, ultimately returning to the daemon prince as lost objects of power, while also erasing the Dark Master's existence from history. B. Laker began to influence events around Abaddon the Despoiler, the War Master of Chaos. He was rumored to have manipulated the Daemon prince Talaman in aiding Abaddon's assault of Cadia during the Third Black Crusade, and during the Sixth Black Crusade informed Abaddon of Drekarth the Sightless treachery, ultimately leading to the destruction of the Sons of the Eye. By the time of the 13th Black Crusade, Bealaker had managed to work his way into Abaddon's inner circle. In 999 of M41, Bealaker allied with the warsmith Sean II in a plan to hijack the Phalanx and use it to bombard Terra. In the ensuing Battle of the Phalanx, Bealaker's demonic hordes battled the Imperial Fist's Third Company. However, Bealaker was ultimately foiled by the ghostly Legion of the Damned and forced to retreat. Since the formation of the Great Rift due to the destruction of Cadia, Bealaker has pledged his demonic legions in the service of Abaddon and his Black Legion, though his intentions remains unknown. During the Indomitus Crusade, Bealaker became aware of Typhus the Traveler's invasion of the Charadon system and launched an invasion of his personal demonic legion, the Disciples of Bealaker. Allying with the Word-Bearer's traitor legion, he has begun his assault upon the Charadon sector. During the war, he managed to annihilate House Raven homeworld of Colossae. During the Arks of Omen campaign, Bealaker and his forces suddenly manifested on the rock as it was in the midst of an invasion by the armies of his hated rival Vashtor. Bealaker had long hated Vashtor for his perceived hubris and ambition. Seeking only to spoil Vashtor's plans, Bealaker delayed the Archiphane's forces long enough for Imperial reinforcements to reach the rock. Vashtor raged at Bealaker, and the duo engaged in a fearsome but largely even fight. However, as Bealaker began his retreat, he was subject to a massive barrage of cannons which Vashtor had hacked into with his own scrapcode abilities. Bealaker dematerialized with a howl of rage, but had succeeded what he had come to do. War gear and relics. The Blade of Shadows is the personal weapon of the Daemon Prince Bealaker. It is a unique ether blade that constantly transient between shape and shadows, silhouette and solidarity. Bealaker achieved such a skill with this weapon that can scythe through armor, scale, flesh and bone without any resistance. The Crown of Shadows is a corona of darkness and a relic of the Daemon Prince Bealaker. When worn, the crown wreathes the wearer's temples and allows them to speak with the voice of the Dark Master himself.